Do you believe that your family should apologize for their own role in the 1953 coup? Forget America, but you have a say in your own family.
I leave it to the historian to determine what it was, but usually a coup is from below to the top, not from the top to down. That's number one. Number two, I have heard the terminology used sometimes by some saying that a democratically elected government of Mossadegh. If anybody studies the Iranian constitution of the time clearly, the prime minister was never elected. He was either appointed by the king, subject to parliament ratification, or vice versa, suggested by parliament, accepted by the king. There was not a process of if you win elections. To suggest that that one was a coup is to suggest that every single change of prime ministership in Iran must have been a coup too. If that's the case, then we have coups every other year. So think, study, understand what the constitution at the time was, and that's as much as I have to say on the subject. But I tell you one last thing, apart from that, because probably there would be impossible to achieve any consensus on this subject, if not forever, for a long time. But I have a constructive suggestion to my fellow compatriots. And that is that, first of all, it would have been impossible to say that whether it was my father or Prime Minister Mossadegh, that they were both right or both wrong. But the question is, what would have been the determining mechanism to say whether it was constitutional or not? A little bit like you have here with the Supreme Court, whether an act of the executive or anybody else is constitutional or not, therefore avoiding constitutional crisis. We did not have at the time any apparatus that could have said